Your drop-in childcare program is easy to manage with iCare. The iCare drop-in module is a complete point-of-sale system featuring children check-in, new family registration, rate chart billing, live teacher-to-child ratio, check-in tickets, credit card processing, prepaid hours, preschool programs, spot reservation by parents, and a way to handle Parents' Night Out. And that's what we'll cover in this video. To get to the drop-in page, we're going to click on the drop-in page button. You'll notice that all the children in your system are going to show up on the left, as well as the parents of the children. And the one you select will show up in the grid. And so if we wanted to check different children in for the drop-in program, we'd simply go down and click on check-in. But let's go and find a child who's actually registered for the drop-in program. And you'll notice we've got children who are siblings in the program, and so they've already logged time for today. If we were checking them in, we'd simply go down to program name, make sure to select drop-in, and go over and check them in. Now there's also a way that parents, when they check into the lobby, can also check their children in that way. But if you were doing it from, let's say, a computer, and there was someone in your office that was checking them in, they could do it this way. And now you'll notice that it displays above some of the account information, like the account balance, the number of hours that they've been in drop-in care. And below in the grid, you'll notice that for the time that's been logged, it shows the number of billable hours, as well as the billable rate and the total amount. Now you'll notice that the rate is slightly different for each of these children. And the reason for that is that with our rate chart, we're charging a different rate for additional children. So the first child and the second child are going to be different rates. Now we have a lot of different factors that you can use for billing your childcare program. And the way that you set that up is you go to Settings, go to Step 6, and scroll down to where it says Rate Chart Billing Setup. You click on that, and the first thing is you'll want to select drop-in, and you'll notice that we have different factors that you can select for billing. So in this case, we just have one factor selected, and that's the child number. So if you scroll down, you'll notice that the first child and second child are different rates, billed at different amounts, and billed at an hourly rate. But we could add additional factors to this grid. For example, maybe we want to charge differently if they're siblings, or charge differently for different ages, or if they're a member, we can set up memberships that gives them a discount or a different rate if they are a member. Or you can also do special days. For example, if you do Mother's Day out and you discount that day, you can select a special day so that if they register for that day, they get that special rate. So billing for your drop-in program is very flexible in iCare. Now let's go back to the drop-in center. Now another way that you can bill your drop-in services is by doing prepaid hours. So if you scroll down here, you'll have the ability to select prepaid hours. And let's say that this family wants to pay for hours in advance, and maybe you offer some sort of discount when they do so. You can go ahead and select the package or add a new package and select the billing period, whether that's weekly, on a monthly basis, or even on a yearly basis, and the number of billing periods, start and end date, the number of hours they're prepaying for, as well as the total amount that you're billing and which account you want it to go to. So you could go ahead and set up the prepaid hours if you're doing prepaid packages. And then what that would do is the number of prepaid hours in the period would appear up here, and then any hours that were billed would deduct from that prepaid balance, and it would not charge whatever amount is in the grid until it reached the prepaid balance, and then it would go ahead and charge the normal rate. But before that, it would just deduct from that prepaid balance. And so if you wanted to go ahead and bill for the hours that we have here, if I wanted to, I could click bill, and this would charge the parents for the hours that were logged. You'll notice on the bottom here, it tells you what the teacher-child live ratios are for the drop-in programs, as well as allows you to make a payment and also print a check-in ticket. So let's say that you did have some children checked in to the drop-in program. You could print a ticket with the child's basic information. You could make some sort of sticker label and have that for your children so that you could display pieces of information like contact information, as well as any allergies they might have, and for example, their lunch order if you were doing that. One thing to note about the drop-in services is that they will be billed on top of the regular programs. So these children might be part of normal programs, and the drop-in services is in addition to those. And so the drop-in services would be billed on top of whatever regular scheduled programs they were a part of. So let's take, for example, this 4-year, 3-day program. Let's say there were children in this program who went over the hours in the schedule. So instead of being billed for those hours at the rate you see below, they would be billed at the drop-in rate because they're going beyond those hours. And so if you wanted to set up a new child or family for drop-in services, because you might have families and children that come that aren't part of your regular programs, you can always go to the plus button and add new families, and your parents will have the ability to actually self-register through the lobby. They'll be able to put in their contact information as well as upload any pieces of paperwork that you need, such as immunization records or any medical information that you need for the children. And if the parents wanted to reserve drop-in services in advance, they could do that on their children's page. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll scroll down to programs and classes, click the plus button, go down to drop-in. And in this child's case, they're part of the drop-in center on a recurring basis. Let's say they wanted to reserve a specific day in advance. They could go either to a week if it was going to be a longer time period, or let's say it's one specific day. You can enter the start and end time and go ahead and continue, and that would register them in advance. And so that's drop-in management. Again, it's really very simple and easy to manage your drop-in childcare program with iCare.